What is up everyone, and welcome to some F1 23, and this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different to what you expect on this channel. I actually took part in a league race for the first time in 5 years. I decided, why not do something a little bit different and get involved in a league. One of my friends, the fellow streamer Phil Skills, who you can see in the McLaren here in the lobby, was hosting his very own racing league. So I decided I'd jump in, get involved with a few of my mates. It's nothing serious. There's not really anything on the line, no pride or anything like that. We're all just kind of having a bit of a laugh. There are a few cash prizes finishing in the top 3, but there's some absolutely rapid people in this league. So I really can't anticipate that I'm going to be finishing particularly high. But yeah, we're going to be taking part in a league race around Austria, 35% distance race after a short qualifying. So I've got probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 attempts if I really try and get a good result. You can see on my first lap, I wasn't paying attention to my fuel gauge, and you can see that I was running way too much fuel. And I accidentally did the same thing on my second flying lap as well. So qualifying not going well for me at this point. Running all the way down in 12th out of 16 people, and there's a couple of AIs in here as well, replacing drivers who wanted to take part, had signed up for the league, but couldn't take part at this moment in time. So yeah, I was not doing very well at this moment down in 12th. I was the slowest of the human drivers who'd set a time at this point. There was one other driver in here, or maybe 2 other drivers in here at this point, I think, who hadn't managed to set a competitive lap time. But yeah, I needed quite desperately to find some pace. I think at this point, a few people thought I was on a flying lap, but you can see I'm actually not burning any ERS. I decided to go around again here. So yeah, they were letting me out the way because they thought I was on a flying lap, and I was kind of like, okay, I'll just take the position, whatever. But I was planning on starting my flying lap next time around. And as we come around, I believe this is turn 3, I actually got on the curb a bit too much and sent it straight into the wall. So we did not manage to set a representative lap time of my pace. I think definitely I might have been able to get into the 104s, or at the very least a very low 105. I definitely don't think that my pace was that of a 105.7. I had more in the tank. I just I couldn't quite get the car round the track without putting it into a wall. So yeah, pretty unfortunate there. Now we're taking a look here at the legend Dougie Falcons. Phil managed to convince him to take part in the league, and he just absolutely blitzed everyone. You can see went even faster on that occasion, 103.4. That will be the pole lap almost certainly. He's over a second ahead of Andy there. And yeah, that was the story of that. Myself and my teammate Antoine, we are starting 12th and 13th respectively. It's not great, but hopefully we can find a bit more form in the race itself as we get ready to go down to the grid now. We're going to be adjusting our strategy slightly. It's going to be 12 on the medium and 13 on the hards, but I wasn't keen on the idea of doing the stint on the slower compound of tyre last. So I decided instead I was going to switch it around, and I was going to do 13 on the or 12 or 13 on the hards to start with. I think I ended up going for 12 actually, and then 13 on the mediums at the end. I'm sure there'll probably be a safety car. They are turned on. I doubt that everyone's going to make it round without issue. There were a few crashes in qualifying, myself included. So maybe there'll be a few safety cars. Hopefully we can keep things consistent this time and try not to have any accidents, but we'll see what we can do. We got a few people starting around us. We did actually manage to out-qualify Hamilton Lewis 446 behind us. I wonder who he's a fan of. I believe his name is actually Oliver, so I might refer to him by that name from now on. But yes, we managed to out-qualify him by a matter of hundredths. And yeah, I tried to get a good parking, but I accidentally parked up a bit too late. And fortunately, a lot of people were getting reset, including Antoine in P12 there. And yeah, we're going to get ready to go now and see if we can do anything off the start here as the lights come on. And the lights go out, and after an absolute eternity standing on the grid there, you can see there was a bit of contact there. Ryan very slow on the getaway, and that caused TCR Burner to go into the back of him. We're going to be going past both of them. I had to avoid Phil Skills there. That actually caused Ryan to go into the side of me. And yeah, we're up into P11. Meanwhile, Antoine there up into P9 as well. He's had a brilliant start. He's competing with Jabadis I was thinking about maybe sending one up the inside of Phil here, especially when he went a little bit deep into the corner. And we've had contact with Ryan again. I don't know what's going on with him right now, but yeah, multiple contact moments with him as he struggles a little bit. He's made his way past us for the time being, but yeah, we're going to see if we can keep hounding him and piling the pressure on, and trying not to fall too far away from this queue. You know, now that I'm not at a disadvantage in terms of fuel, I should have similar pace to some of these guys around me. You know, they were doing sort of high 104s, low 105s in qualifying, pretty similar to the kind of pace I think I would have been showing if I'd managed to set a representative lap time. So yeah, we're currently in P12, and we've gained a position off the start. I think TCR Burner had some kind of issue or something like that, so he's fallen to the back of the grid, and we're ahead of the two AIs, replacing a couple of people as we make a move on Ryan there. I actually think we cut the corner, but managed to get past him, and so does Oliver, who's now going to challenge me up the inside at turn 1, and we're going to see who comes out on top of this one. Will it be me? Yes, it will, because Oliver had a big moment there, and my game actually had a bit of lag for some reason. I think that might have been due to the fact that Ryan had some kind of disconnect. Hopefully he'll be back into the race as time goes on, but we'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, I've already fallen 2 seconds away from Jabadis in 10th, but as we move through the final couple of corners, the gap is just getting more and more pronounced. However, I might be about to be handed a lifeline here, as I think Oliver spun out there, and there was a virtual safety car, and yeah, he's actually crashed out, which that is the end of his race, unfortunately for him, and it means there's only 15 of us remaining, including the two AIs who are replacing Lewis Crazy and Costa. Are the two drivers who couldn't make it today. One of them was on holiday, and one of them was stuck in traffic on the way home. So yeah, there were meant to be 16 people in this race, but only 14 actually in attendance. But yeah, safety car came out. Full safety car is what it got upgraded to, and as a result, I decided, you know, why not gamble? And I'm going to go on a set of softs. And my idea with this was, I'm already so close to the back that if I can make up some positions on the softs, then perhaps we could, when it comes to the time to actually pit properly, perhaps we could have gained more positions than we ended up being in, you know, with the safety car and everything. I figured this was kind of a strategy where there was no real downside to it. I mean, maybe you could argue that I could have gained some track position on some of the other cars that pitted, but I don't know. I think this was the right call, and we'll see if it works out for us. You know, everyone else is going on to another set of hards. So yeah, I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. But in any case, we are now going to see if we can make up some positions once the safety car restarts. However, we're going to have to look at this first. This is the Lewis Hamilton AI replacing Lewis Crazy. He is retiring from the Grand Prix, which I think is I'd feel a little bit hard done by if I was if I was Lewis Crazy in that scenario and my car broke down. But anyway, we're now going to get ready to go again as the race gets ready to be resumed after the safety car. We're on the softs. Pretty much everyone around us is on the hards, apart from Hekwe down in 13th, who's on the mediums, and Ryan behind has a 5-second penalty. I think that might have been for speeding in the pit lane, but I'm not 100% sure on that, as he's actually coming into the pits again. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with him, but it seems like he's not having a great race at the moment. And yeah, we're going to see if we can pile some pressure on the cars in front. We've had a pretty good exit from turn 1, but I think Phil Skills was able to find the traction a little bit easier. And yeah, we're going to see what goes on with him. I think Dougie Falcon's still comfortably leading the race there in P1, and it's Williams in P2, and then Alpine and AlphaTauri competing for P4, or for P3 and P4 at the moment. Yeah, Phil's is closing down on Jabadis in front. We're going to go up the inside of Phil. He brakes pretty late. He's on those hard compound tyres. Meanwhile, we're on the softs, and yeah, that has allowed us to kind of have a bit more grip, a bit more braking performance through the corner, which is nice. And we'll see if we can pile any pressure on Jabadis now, as Ringpiece has had a spin there. Very disappointing for him. He's also round in the Mercedes, and that promotes us up the order into P9. And could we maybe be about to take P8 here? We've had a pretty good exit from that corner. We're going to try and go up the inside of Jabadis, and I think he decides to give it to us. He goes out pretty wide though, so maybe not. But he goes out wide in the following corner as well. I'd be surprised if he didn't get at least one corner cutting warning for that. But yeah, we weren't quite able to make the move on him, unfortunately. And now Phil, not Phil, it's actually Hekwe is putting us under pressure, and Yeah, very strange from him. We make a bit of contact there with the Gasly AI replacing Costa, and we're going to try and get up the inside of him as quickly as we can. Make a bit of contact there, actually, as, yeah, Jabadis is all over the shop there. You can see he's got a 3-second penalty, and we tried to close him down, but unfortunately, I realized, maybe a little bit too late, actually, that the softs were not the play here. They started going off far too quickly, and, yeah, this was really not what I was hoping would happen here. But you can see that, you know, Phil has made up the position on me. Jabadis is getting past me as well. And, yeah, it's only basically the only human driver I think I'm ahead of, or the only human drivers that I'm ahead of at this point are TCR Burner, Ringpiece, and Ryan. And I think maybe someone else, but I'm not sure who it is. Maybe they've pitted again or something. But it's mostly drivers who've had issues in this race. You know, it's no one that's had a problem-free race. As you can see, Andy had some kind of moment there, and he's out of the race. He was in P2 at some point, and that is another safety car has been deployed. And as a result, I saw that there was the message coming up that there was a new strategy. So I decided I was going to come into the pits again, and we're going to be going on to the medium compound of tyres. And I think because of the safety car period, we might actually be able to make it to the end on these mediums. And I mean, if I'm the only one pitting, you can see Gasly's AI is pitting as well. But yeah, we're maybe not going to be in such a bad position after all. We'll see if more people are going to pit after the fact. But yeah, it's actually looking like this might not have been such a bad play for us after all. And yeah, maybe we're looking all right. We're going to see who's going to come out ahead as I come out of the pits. Will it be myself or TCR Burner? I think he got fractionally ahead there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's made to give the position back. And he actually slowed directly in front of me. Very nearly brake tested me there. I had to kind of wiggle to get out of the way of him. So yeah, a little bit dangerous, but you know, I vented my frustration in Phil's Twitch chat about that at the time, so I don't need to say any more about it now. But yeah, currently running in P8, and I think this is net P8 at the moment. You know, every overtake I make now is going to be for position, so we'll see what we are capable of doing. And yeah, there's a bit of a queue forming up here. It's looking a bit like the M25 at the moment as we get ready to go again. Antoine, my teammate, currently leading from Dougie, who I think has already pitted. Antoine, meanwhile, has stayed out on those hard compound tyres. I think he's waiting out some rain, which there's a little bit of chatter of at the moment. But we've had a very good exit from that final corner, and we're going to be piling the pressure on Hekwi. And unfortunately, we have to give the position back because the yellow flags are a little bit glitched on this year's game, and that was causing us a few problems. Meant we couldn't make that overtake on the safety car restart, which we probably deserved, to be fair. So yeah, a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, Antoine has already lost the lead to Dougie Falcons. A very rapid in that Aston Martin he is, and now he's actually coming under pressure from Phil, who's up into P3, maybe looking at P2. And then yeah, you got Antoine, and then in P4 we got Boo Boo. Hekwi already making up a few positions on both of the Red Bulls into P5, and then Jabadis and Josh are racing for 6th place there. Jabadis going a bit wide there. I thought about maybe trying to go for a move on him, but sending it up the inside of someone at that corner is not necessarily the most intelligent move that you could ever go for. And yeah, we find ourselves in P8. TCR Burner a little bit further afield, and then Ringpiece, who had that incident earlier but managed to recover from it, is currently 10th. And I think it's Ranto 11th, or maybe no, it is. Boo Boo's had a moment there. He's through, I'm through rather, and he's down into God knows where. But yeah, we make our way up into P7 as a result. And I think you can see in the foreground there, GG Josh and Antoine having a bit of battling. Josh tries to go to the inside of Antoine, and he's actually clipped him up the arse. And yeah, I wasn't too keen on that from Josh, I got to be honest. That was it was an interesting move coming out from him to try and take the position. I know Antoine was struggling on his tyres, but you can't just take someone out like that. We've made our way up into P6 for the time being, and now we're going to see if we can get ahead of Jabadis. He's got that 3-second penalty, so maybe we will be able to beat him even if he does finish ahead of us. Antoine at this point decided to come into the pits. I think his hard tyres are completely done, and yeah, we're going to see if we can make the move here on Jabadis for P5. He was someone who I was racing with for quite a lot of this race, and yeah, we're actually with the DRS going to try and size up a move up the inside at turn 2. Are we going to be able to pull it off? He goes a little bit wide. I think the answer is going to be yes. and we managed to make our way up into P5. So after a terrible qualifying, we're actually not having too bad of a race. I know there's a lot of carnage going on around us, but yeah, Ringpiece trying to go around the outside of us now. He's on those fresh hard compound tyres. Will he be able to make the move? Of course he will. He's got a lot more pace than me. He's, you know, I've raced with him a lot, and he's generally a lot faster than me. So that didn't come as too much of a surprise to see him doing that, as we pick up a 3-second penalty, and Anto has made his way past us as well in the Alpine. So yeah, we are now down into P7. It was a very short-lived stint in that P5 position, and we've already got another track limits warning there as well. We need to be really careful for the rest of this race. I'm struggling for grip a little bit as we move now onto lap 17, and yeah, these medium tyres, I think they will get us to the end, no problem. But there's a big battle brewing there for P3 or 4, I think this is, between Josh, Phil, Anto, and Ringpiece. I don't know who's going to come out on top of that one, but Phil is the big loser there. He was in P4, and now he's fallen, or P3 actually, I think, and now he's fallen down to P6. So yeah, really struggling there. Meanwhile, it's an Aston Martin 1-2, Dougie Falcons and Heckley leading the way. And yeah, Phil's had a mare there. We're going to try and put some pressure on him. The rain is not too far out, so there's a thought that maybe we might be going on to Inters before the end of this race. And we don't manage to quite make the move on that occasion, but we will have the DRS on Phil once again, which means we might be able to make the move here as we come on the run up to turn 2. And yeah, we've managed to make it stick, but he will have the DRS for the following corner. And the other thing is that he seems to be getting way better exits than me on this corner. You'll see that again, I'm sure, as we keep going. But yeah, that was more than just DRS. That was with the traction as well. Seemed like he had a way better run through the exit of turn 2 than I did, and that just that managed to make him absolutely rapid. But yeah, we're gonna maybe be in a bit of a battle here with him. Meanwhile, the cars in front, Josh, Ringpiece, and Anto, there, all getting away as they try to fight over the final podium position. And yeah, big scrap now happening between myself and Phil. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Will it be me, or will it be Phil in the McLaren? He's, of course, the owner of this league. Do go and follow him on Twitch if you don't already, because he's the one who put this all together, and he was streaming the race today. So yeah, definitely worth your support. We're going to try and go up the inside of him now as we actually make a bit of contact with his side pod there. And yeah, can't quite make the move stick on this occasion. But as we come onto lap 20 now, we're going to be blasting past him in the DRS zone again. And you can see that the first drops of rain are starting to fall with what is basically 6 laps to go. We're going to see whether we can hold on to this position. But with the DRS, he's just going to be incredibly powerful, and he's just going to get straight back past me. However, that means I'm going to get the DRS for the next DRS zone. So yeah, there was every chance that we might be able to get back past him. But this problem I was having with him just having such better exits than me through that corner was really not working very well for me, as we've had another retirement from the Grand Prix. It's Boo Boo this time. I'm surprised that he managed to keep it going after that incident on the pit straight, to be honest. But his race will be no more after that. And yeah, there are only 11 people remaining in this race. I think it's Dougie and Heckley leading the way, and then Josh, Ringpiece, and Anto fighting over P3. Myself and Phil Skills continue to fight over P6 here. I know I've got that penalty, but you know, I want to get the pride of finishing here on track. So a big battle coming out between us. And then yeah, we got myself and Phil, Jabadis, the Gasly AI is still going, who's replaced Costa for this race only, and then TCR Burner and Ryan are further afield. So we'll see who's going to come out on top, and who's going to get that final points position out of the two of them. As yeah, we see what's going on now. Whether Phil's going to try and close me down or not, I don't know. The rain is getting a bit heavier, but it's still not really time for intermediate tyres. I try and push Phil very wide there, but obviously I had to leave him a bit of racing room, and he managed just to make the move stick. He complained about that one a little bit. I will hold my hands up and admit I wasn't fully paying attention. I wasn't expecting him to get back past me that quickly. It's not Ryan, actually. It's Antoine who's in P9, so I don't know what happened to Ryan. I think maybe he's out of the race. I don't know how it happened. But yeah, something must have happened to him that I didn't quite pick up on. We're going to try and pile some more pressure on Phil here. What I'm trying to do in these moments, not necessarily is try to overtake him, but is try to push him a bit wide and try and give him those track limits warnings, because if I can finish ahead of him on track, it's not going to matter unless he gets a penalty. So I will fully hold my hands up and admit that what I was trying to do was I was trying to get Phil to take a penalty. And you can see he was going off track all the time, so I was feeling a little bit aggrieved that he didn't get some kind of penalty. Jabadis is 2.5 seconds further afield, and there's another DNF in the form of ring piece this time. I don't know what's happened. That was from the top 3 as well on the penultimate lap of the race. He's going to make it just 10 cars remaining out of 16 who started this race. So surprisingly chaotic Grand Prix here in Austria, and we will see if we can hold on to what will be now P5 on track. However, you know, Phil's with that lack of penalty, I definitely think that it will be difficult for him to lose out on P5 now. But yeah, I'm very keen on trying to take this position off him on track at least. And we've only really got 1 lap left to do it now, so it's going to have to be a pretty big push if we want to make it happen. But yeah, he's struggling quite a lot. He's been on those hard tires since I think like lap 4 or 5. He went onto them early, and yeah, it was the first safety car I think was when he went onto them. So he's struggling quite a lot, and as a result, we managed to make the move up into P5 once again. But Phil piling pressure on us here, and I actually decided to get out of the throttle a little bit there to allow him to get past me so I can get the DRS. Because I was hoping that I'd be able to get him with the DRS on this corner. I knew there'd be no chance of me being able to fight him if he had the DRS. So yeah, I just kind of had to do what I could, but his exit from that corner made it impossible. And even he was saying in his stream at the time, he was saying, wow, like, you know, I have way better traction on the exit of that corner. And he was right. You know, I was really struggling on the exit of turn 2 specifically. Dougie Falcons wins by a country mile compared to everyone else. And yeah, there was another yellow flag. I think it is GG Josh has had some kind of spin, but he's going to be able to get going again without losing touch to me and Phil. But we've had a massive exit from that corner, very, very strong, lots of traction compared to Phil, and we're going to go up the inside of him as we come through the final couple of corners, turn 8 and turn 9 here, and we managed to make it stick, and we've stolen P5 on track at the death of the race. However, Phil's is going to take it on account of the fact that he has not got a penalty, whereas we have Jabadis with that 6-second penalty. He did catch us up right at the end. He didn't finish anywhere other than P7 on track, I don't think. But yeah, Antoine coming home in P8 meanwhile. So a decent showing considering we started P12 and P13. But who knows what it could have been if Antoine hadn't had that moment. If I'd had a stronger qualifying, you know, there was every chance that we could have had maybe 1 or 2 cars in the top 5 there. Hekwi with driver of the day. He finished P2 in the end, and I believe it was Anto in that final podium position. So yeah, really strong performance from Dougie Falcons. You know, he was a second faster than anyone in qualifying, and he converted that into a very solid finish in the race. So I would wage to say that he is going to be an incredibly difficult opponent to get ahead of in the races here. You know, I don't even think he was going at full push. He's an incredible talent, and someone who I've raced with on a few occasions and never managed to even really get close to. Next week as well, I think we have Lewis Crazy back in the league, and he's another driver who I just absolutely cannot get close to. So yeah, there's going to be pretty brutal. You can see there, Dougie Falcons' fastest lap was a second faster than Ringpiece, who was the next best driver on track after him. So yeah, absolutely massive result from Dougie. And then from there, it was Hekwi, Anto, GG Josh, Phil, myself, Jabadis, Antoine, Gasly, whose points will go to Costa, and then Burner finishes P10. And then the retirements were Rings, Boo Boo, Ryan McLean, Andy, the Lewis Hamilton AI replacing Lewis Crazy, and Oliver Hamilton Lewis 446. So yeah, that was the result, and that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.